Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into modern Japan to try and understand its incredible balancing act. How does a nation honor its ancient past while at the same time building a sustainable future? Well, we're going to find the answers in some pretty cool places: castles, theme parks, and even on the city streets.
So, think about the last time you traveled. What if it was more than just a vacation, more than just sightseeing? What if it was actually a way to see how a country is tackling some of the biggest questions of our time?
And this is the central question we're really digging into today. And honestly, there's no better place to explore this delicate, fascinating challenge than Japan. To really understand where Japan is going, you first have to look back. We need to feel the immense weight and the inspiration of its history. So let's start with the soul of the nation, which you can find in its most enduring symbols. This slide just illustrates the core dilemma perfectly. On one side, you've got Inuyama Castle. It's a national treasure from 1537. You're looking at the original wood. Its history you can literally touch. But on the other side, there's Nagoya Castle, a symbol of resilience, completely reconstructed after being destroyed in World War II. One is preserved history, the other a rebuilt legacy. So here's the crucial point. Heritage isn't static. It's not just a bunch of old buildings. It's an active choice a nation makes about its own story. Do you preserve the original, flaws and all? Or do you rebuild a powerful symbol of resilience? How a country answers that question really defines its identity.
And the life cycle of Nagoya Castle is it's so dramatic. It was a center of power for centuries, then it was completely destroyed in air raids, and then it was reborn in 1959 using modern concrete, a really powerful symbol of post-war recovery. And get this, the story isn't over. There are plans to restore it again, but this time using traditional wood. And this isn't just a local decision. Preserving cultural heritage is a key part of the UN's Sustainable Development Goal number 11. It's globally recognized that protecting these sites is absolutely essential for creating resilient and sustainable cities for the future.
Okay, so if that's the past, how does it all connect to Japan's incredibly vibrant and creative present? Let's explore how modern imagination is shaping the country's identity on the world stage right now.
Here, we've got a tale of two very different worlds of imagination, but each one has a really powerful message. You have Ghibli Park, which is built on this philosophy of environmentalism, and that links directly to SDG number 12. And then you have Legoland Japan, which is all about learning through play, a perfect match for SDG number 4, quality education.
Ghibli Park is just remarkable because it was designed to fit into the forest, not to replace it. You won't find any giant roller coasters here. The main attraction is nature itself, which makes the park a living, breathing example of the environmental themes in those famous films. Legoland, on the other hand, is all about turning entertainment into a tool for learning. Through these hands-on STEM workshops, kids aren't just playing with bricks, they're developing real skills in engineering, problem-solving, and logical thinking. But hey, modern culture isn't just designed in a theme park. Sometimes it just bubbles up organically, right from the streets, like it does in Osaka's America-Mora district. The whole thing started back in the 70s, when a few shops began selling imported American jeans and records. And from there, America-Mora just exploded into exactly this, a ground-up, totally organic hub for youth culture, fashion, and self-expression. And this part is brilliant. The trendiness of vintage fashion here directly supports SDG number 12. So that thriving second-hand clothing culture isn't just cool, it's a sustainable practice that's actively fighting the waste that comes from fast fashion. But what happens when the past, the present, tourism, and just everyday life all collide in the exact same space? Well, it creates this kind of friction, a dual rhythm in the city that definitely comes with its own set of challenges. Let's take Nagoya, for example. During the day, it's a calm, commercial city, pretty orderly and focused on business. But when night falls, that same city completely transforms. It becomes this vibrant stage for art, music, and social life. It's a place with two very distinct, coexisting personalities. This intense collision between local life and tourism creates a major modern challenge: over-tourism. It's that tipping point where a place's popularity basically becomes its own worst enemy, and it starts harming the very things that people came to see in the first place. And there is no better place to see this in action than Nara. We're talking more than 1,000 wild deer, which are considered sacred messengers, just roaming free. It's an incredible sight and a massive, massive tourist draw. But this interaction creates a really critical problem. What happens when these wild, sacred animals become dependent on the crackers that tourists are constantly feeding them?
It completely disrupts their natural behavior and creates this very delicate and often problematic relationship.
And the impact goes way beyond just the deer. Overtourism creates this domino effect. Yeah, it disrupts wildlife, but it also causes literal wear and tear on irreplaceable ancient temples. It completely overwhelms public transit, and ultimately, it can make daily life almost unbearable for the people who actually call the city home. So, after seeing this really complex interplay of all these forces, what are the key lessons we can actually take away from Japan's balancing act?
Well, we can adopt a new lens for travel, using the SDGs as our guide. Instead of just seeing sights, we can start asking deeper questions. Is this heritage preserved or was it rebuilt? What's the educational message here? How does this culture promote sustainable consumption? And what's my impact on the local ecology? This turns travel into a kind of active engagement.
Because once you start seeing the world through this framework, connecting your own experiences to these larger global challenges, it really changes how you see everything. So the real question I want to leave you with is, how will you travel next?